So I am very eager to share this new concept with you. You may or may not know, I created a oracle deck a couple years ago called Sawyer's Nature Portals. That is this deck. It is round. It features 52 sentient beings on each, not on each card, but there's 52 cards, and each spotlights a creature that we share this earth with. The whole idea of the portal deck was to look into a snapshot in time of that animal, creature, insect, aquatic being, the life of that creature. And instead of them having like a message for us, it's more of like what we could learn through observation. So in true nature of the things that I like to create, I also made tiles of the portals, and they were round, and they, I still have them. But this new creation is based off of Sawyer's Nature Portals, and it's called Sawyer Nature Squared because I have revisited the tiles but gave them a square format. And these tiles, I love using this new system. I'll show you how I intend to do it. As you can see, so now the tiles are square, and they have the creature, but they also have the name on them. The cards are not named. And the whole purpose of this new board is to dive deeper with the portals. It is meant to be used in tandem with the card, and I'll show you how I mean to do that with this demonstration. If you decide to bring this into your life and into your practice, there's a few options. You get the tiles with the board, that's one option. Or you can get the tiles with the board and also the portal deck if you don't already have it. I also have an add-on of another board, which I'm going to do another video of with the compass rose spread. It's kind of like finding direction, but that's not what this demo is about. This is about just using what I'm affectionately calling the Terra Tableau, based off of Lenormand, using the idea of placing all 52 cards out on one surface and seeing what similarities come through and all that kind of thing. Also with your order, you would get a PDF download of a guide, not the guidebook for the deck, but how to use this system. I've printed this out, so you can print it out. I have a couple formats. I have a digital journal that is completely hyperlinked, and it has the same stuff in it, and it gives you a little bit of background on how to use it. And like I said, I printed this out in case you want to print out the PDF. There is one that is formatted for 8.5 by 11. There's also a GoodNotes version, which has the same ability of hyperlinks and going from page to page. If you are familiar with GoodNotes, you know what I'm talking about. It also has a page with the digital stickers of the deck so that you can journal with it and deepen your practice using the portals. So enough of my introduction. I'm going to put the tiles in this pouch by Moonlit Faye. Jenna and I collab on a lot of projects together. She makes all my bags. I adore her. Let me get all this. So I'm gonna speed up the video so that I can get this in here and show you a little bit about how I place the tiles. So just bear with me while I get this all set up. Okay, let's see. So we give it like a quick shuffle, and now, like I said, I'm gonna place these tiles on the tableau. I'm gonna place them in an order however I feel called to. Normally I will start with the top row. This particular square is intentionally left without a lot around it, as you'll see. That is for maybe an overall energy of the spread. It could be intentionally selected as you place all the other ones. I like to just kind of pull things out and put them on the board. Fight the urge to correct them, to put them upright. You want them to be able to lay how they're called to lay because that's important. It's going to tell you the energy of that animal or that creature in the card. So I'm going to place the cards on the tableau and then we will get to it with the demonstration. Okay. Now that we have these all laid out, I like to just make them look good. You know, that's just my own personal aesthetic. The way that I see this being used is taking a snapshot, a picture, and putting it in your digital journal or just kind of leaving this set up. You could do this once a month and then pull a card each day and see what that card has to do for you. So here's the first overall, if you're just using the board and the tiles, I would say, okay, what is the overall theme of the tableau? And that's where I come to this top center one and I see that horseshoe crab and I see that it's like really rocketing upwards. You know, it's not in its upright position, it's going straight up. So that could be the theme of like, you look at it and you think about what horseshoe crab might mean to you. Maybe that's the energy of the whole month, something that you have to work with. These could be supporting on the sides. And then like go, you know, just kind of look through the patterns and see if there's clusters of aquatic beings or clusters of winged creatures or, you know, just kind of allow certain patterns to start talking to you, start coming through. I like to personally use it in tandem with the Sawyer's Nature Portal deck because then what it does is it gives you a marching order. It gives you a place to start. So we're gonna just pull this card here. Ha, horseshoe crab. That right there is some oracle card humor. And I'm glad that this one showed up first because it's gonna get the main thing out of the way. So when you pull the card, you find it in the tableau and then you look at what is around it. And in this case, it really only has the chicks card because that's the one that it's actually sharing an edge with, is this chicks card. So for me, it could just be a 2-card reading, you know, like looking at the thing of like, what is my direction? It's those things that I'm hatching. It's those things that I am nurturing and caring for in order to become something bigger. So if you pull the card that is the top center, it's gonna be a really quick reading. If you need a clarifier, this is when you would pull another card. So let's try another one so I can really show you how I intend to use this board and hopefully you're inspired to want to do the same. So we've got Dragonfly. All right, perfect. So Dragonfly, we find that on the tableau, you know, there it is, Dragonfly. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at the 6 tiles around it. So everything else kind of becomes irrelevant. A tip that I like to do, because I do a lot of digital journaling, is I like to take a screenshot of just that 6. And, you know, those are the focals for that day. So when we look at that, we look at Dragonfly and we see that it's in its upright position and it's looking towards Hummingbird and Fox. And Hummingbird and Fox are, that becomes like the above energy. Hummingbird is upside down and Fox is kind of looking at it. So then in this moment, I'm looking at what direction are the creatures doing? You know, Hummingbird being upside down isn't necessarily a bad thing because they can fly in all different directions. You know, it's the one bird that if it was upside down like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's in a bad position. It could be just trying to get away from a predator, you know. So, so the above energy is overall Hummingbird and Fox, and then we have the flanking energies. So we have Coyote and Wasp, And those could be like past and future, but also coyotes upside down. So we have some upside down energy going on in this, like in our day. It could be talking about maybe our instincts aren't on point, you know, like what these animals mean to me or what these creatures mean to me could be completely different than what they mean to you, but it's valid. Whatever comes through is what you need to know about. So the flanking positions, we've got coyote and wasp is in a sideways, it's flying downward. You know, and right now there are still wasps, but where I'm at, it's cold, so they're not as active. You know, they're more of like a spring and summer creature. And then what's supporting the whole thing, like again, like I said, we're just looking at these 6 tiles. Like everything else is kind of a moot point. So we're just looking at these 6. What's supporting everything is bat and rabbit, and bat is flying upwards towards the dragonfly. So we've got the bat's flying upwards, the dragonfly is flying upwards, you know, and the hummingbird is coming back down. So there's this lot of like conflicting directions going on, and that's okay, you know, like maybe it doesn't need to be that deep. Like when I do this kind of playful divination, it's just a snapshot, you know, like maybe a quick overlook of what's going to go on today. Or if you're doing it at the end of the day, it could be a recap, and you could be like, oh yeah, I saw this energy show up because of this. We have rabbit and bat, and that's what's supporting us. Rabbit's in its upright position. And lately we've had a rabbit running around in our backyard, which always makes me happy. But rabbit and fox. So now it brings us to this looking at it overall. How many predators do we have? How many winged creatures? I mean, in this particular 6-7 card reading, because we're counting the center, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 winged creatures. So that to me is the element of air. So maybe we're going to be really mental, thinking a lot about just our plans of action today, thinking about direction, you know, and then what do these creatures have in common? We have insects, and then we have mammals, and then, you know, the bat is not a bird, but like, so there's only one bird, but then we have 4 mammals. You know, so look at those connections. Look at what is the overall theme. Are they all fast creatures? Are they slow creatures? Are they more ones that really come about themselves because of metamorphosis? You know, like look at those themes, because this is going to be a deep dive with your portals. So then say you do the reading and you're good. You don't need any more, but maybe you need a little bit more clarity. That's when you can just pull another card, and we got eagle. So now I'm glad that that one came up. So we have eagle, and we find it, and it's over here in the bottom corner. If you're familiar with Lenormand and the Grand Tableau, then you know the ones on the edges, there's just not a lot of information with those, you know, but we can still look to what's around it. And so if we were to take the 6 that go around this one, we only get 3. We get raccoon, cat, and red panda around eagle, because these 3 are, you know, not known. They're unknown factors. We don't know everything in life, so it makes sense. But we can use those 4 cards together and really just get a quick little snapshot again of how they might interact. You know, you've got this eagle who's upside down, taking the fight to the sky or doing whatever, and then we've got cat, red panda, and raccoon. And to me, these are 3 very inquisitive creatures, curious creatures, ones that are gonna go after something and like really assess what's going on. And so maybe that's what the eagle's trying to do. It's like maybe there's something you're after that you have to observe a little bit before you make that leap. So it's not like when it's upside down, it's not a reversed, it's just kind of an internal, but it could be whatever it is for how you wish to show it in your practice. So using the nature squared Terra Tableau, and I'm calling it Terra Tableau as in Terra means earth, and they're creatures of the earth on a tableau, you know. Yeah, I know, really, really big one there. But you, like I said, you can cast this once a month. Because the boards are sturdy, you can lift it up and bring it with you and go place it wherever you need to place it. Leave it off to the side and do your card a day, or just like I've done, I took a snapshot of my month of February, and I am pulling a card a day, and I'm journaling with it, and I'm, you know, allowing what needs to come through with that card. For that purpose, I shuffle the card back in the deck. You could even do 52 weeks because there's 52 cards. So you could do a card a week and keep this set up and just go through and be like, okay, this week we have Firefly, and you know, and then put that card to the side, not use it until you get through all the cards. So it's just really designed to help you deep dive with these animal energies. Another way you could do it, if you don't have the deck and you only get the tiles and the board, is look to the creatures that you might interact with. What comes across your path? Like yesterday, for instance, like I said, I saw a bunny. So I could just go to the bunny and be like, okay, this is this. A lot of the animals in my deck are from the Northeast because I was creating them with things that were coming across my path. But there are some that are not, you know, so it could even be something that you keep seeing in memes or on TV or, you know, like, so just, it helps you get a little bit more in tune to your natural surroundings and what's going on. But, so that is the nature squared. Like I said, the tiles come with the board, and you have an option of getting the tiles with the board and also the deck. They all come with, again, they come with the PDFs. Like, you will not get a printout. You will have to print this out yourself if you so desire, but they will come with the files, the link to the PDF where you can download and you can do the journaling. And, you know, if you want, this is how I do it in digital. So I'll write the date and I'll put, you could write in the center cards, you know, like that. So, and again, it gives you instructions. So that was just this little demo of this because I feel like with this particular system, it's a little harder to write in the description, and I wanted to show it in action so that you got a better idea of how to use this system and where my head is at when I create these things. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. The links for everything is also in the comments, and have a happy day.